Today, Cucumber Tony, the Wi-Fi startup with the unforgettable name. They're using the cloud to add enterprise intelligence to consumer-grade Wi-Fi. My guest today is Simon Morley, Big Chief at Cucumber Tony. Join us in just a moment. All right, everybody, and welcome back, I should say, to Wi-Fi Now TV. I'm delighted to be back, and I've been on a break for a while, of course. First of all, during our big event in Washington, D.C. this past April, and we're also preparing for the next one, which I will tell you about in just a moment. Now, I also want to let you know that we are going to be sharing lots of stories from Wi-Fi Now DC in the coming months. So be sure to follow all our channels, including, of course, this show, and also the Wi-Fi Now forum on LinkedIn. If you search on Wi-Fi Now forum, you should be able to find it on LinkedIn. I will approve your membership immediately, and also you can follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Wi-Fi Now Events. So I'm really looking forward to this show because my good friend Simon Morley from Cucumber Tony is here. We'll get to Simon in just a second. I know he's very eager to get going on this. But before that, I just want to make sure that you know that we're taking Wi-Fi Now, the Expo and Conference, to Simon's hometown, in fact, London, UK, this October 25th to 27th. And not only that, we'll also have the Wi-Fi Now Awards show happening in London at that time. And we already want to invite all of you great Wi-Fi companies out there. Hopefully many of you are watching to enter the Wi-Fi Now Awards. And we have all of 5 award categories for you. So check out our event program and find out more about the awards at wifinow.international. So we changed the URL a little bit, so it's wifinow.international. If you have any questions, drop me a line at klaus@wifinowevents.com. So that's it for my usual slew of announcements. And now on to my very special guest today, Simon Morley of Cucumber Tony. Simon, welcome to Wi-Fi Now.
Hello, Klaus. Thanks for inviting me.
It's great to see you, and you're looking very comfortable down there.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, Simon, just give us the 3-minute version of what Cucumber Tony is all about, because there might be a few people out there that know you, but I want everybody to know you now.
Okay. So, I mean, I am no salesman, as you well know, but our 3-minute elevator pitch would be, so Cucumber Tony, we call it an orchestration tool for Wi-Fi devices. So it's basically mission control for your Wi-Fi networks. So imagine you're a system integrator, a vendor, a VAR, a reseller. You've got a large estate of access points, or you're selling them. You realize you need to be competitive with you need to be competitive. So you go off and find that you've got to offer some kind of cloud solution to manage your boxes. Then you figure out that actually building this platform is going to take you a lot of time and a lot of money. You think that you realize you're going to need an agent that runs on a box and a cloud portal for the back end. So what Cucumber and Tony have effectively done is we've taken all that kind of pain point away. So we've written some software that runs on OpenWRT devices, that allows kind of full management no matter where you are. And we've written a cloud portal which is kind of completely white label. So a vendor, a system integrator, or someone can take that, reskin it, and then within moments, essentially, they can have a competitive cloud offering. So that's how
Sorry to interrupt. So you have thousands of clients out there already. I was just looking at your website. By the way, I'm totally impressed with the amount of features that you can actually get on the Cucumber Tony service. I think that's totally impressive what you've done. But tell us a little bit about the service provider aspect, because you're still doing that, right?
Yeah, so it's a kind of twofold service at the moment. The longer term plan is to sell this into larger organizations, but actually our core business at the moment comes from smaller kind of independent people operating kind of networks of got maybe 100, 200 access points. And their kind of pain point is they may be using Unify or Ubiquity stuff or some OpenMesh stuff, some good quality equipment, but they were having problems managing it. So they're swapping to us. Because Cucumber gives them a single point. It's a single pane of glass to manage it all, basically. So they get network management. They get all the enterprise features that they can't probably afford because they don't want to spend $600-700 on an AP. Get captive portal, unfortunately. Nobody likes captive portal, but everyone needs it. And various other features like that.
Right. So you've essentially taken the hardware out of the equation, so to speak, because if you have multiple, first of all, of course, you can, I guess the most important point is that you can use consumer grade access points to build a enterprise type Wi-Fi service like this, first of all. And secondly, you've taken the hardware entirely out of the equation because you could have multiple types of hardware on a Cucumber Tony network. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. It's all cloud controlled. So an access point, a TP link will behave exactly the same as a Ubiquiti or an Open Mesh kind of thing. So yeah, it's pretty dynamic that way.
So what do the other companies, for example, TP Link and Ubiquiti, think of this? Do they like it?
I haven't asked them.
So you're not getting any negative feedback. I suppose you're adding value on top of what they're doing. So presumably they're good with it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not reverse engineering any firmwares or anything. We use open source firmware. We use open WRT. We're not damaging anything they're doing. We're not damaging their goods. I think we're just enhancing their stuff, and it's people asking for it. It's consumer demand for this. So, so I mean, it's been 12 months, no problems.
Okay. So, do you believe that the type of intelligence that you provide with Cucumber Tony, that this type of enterprise intelligence can be moved to the cloud, generally speaking, so that essentially you can get what you would normally get on an enterprise network by using your cloud?
Well, I mean, I guess I feel a bit funny about the definition of cloud because we use it frugally, but actually not frugally. I feel in a few years it will just be an extension of the arm. It's just something to add on. It's like smartphones. Someone said to me the other day, when are we going to just start calling them phones? They're all smart at the moment. And I think a $100 access point can never compete with the likes of an Aruba access point kind of thing. And that's not the aim of it. We're not aiming to do that at all. What we're aiming to do is move stuff off into the cloud. And actually moving it off means that the routers and the Wi-Fi access points can do more of what they should be doing. So they should be doing some routing and they should be doing some Wi-Fiing. The cloud can do all of the processing of the data. So it's really just kind of augmenting what we've got at the moment with some intelligence, yeah.
Right. So, Simon, can you share with us some of the most important use cases or perhaps verticals, if you will, if you want to get into that, for your types of services? Is it essentially anything out there, hospitality, retail, or is there any particular area you're focusing on?
I mean, our major focus at the moment is getting it into kind of the vendors' hands as such, so that those kind of people, so they can use our portal. Longer term, I can go into the plans a little bit later. At the moment, our core business, as I said, is going to network system admin, sysadmins, kind of network administrators of about up to 100 access points. It's rare that they go over that. And then there's thousands of them around the world all using us at the moment. And again, it's about convenience for them. They're looking for some enterprise features. They don't really know what they need, but they're mainly looking for kind of management. And they will have spent some time installing controllers on site, and then they find that becomes unwieldy and a burden to them. Mm-hmm. So it's quick for them to flash the firmware. And actually, one of the big things about our platform, or the idea that we're trying to get across to people, is it's about choice. So we should allow people to go back. If they don't like Tony, go and use something else. That's not a problem. It doesn't work out for us. So yeah, it's about choice for everyone.
But your key clients, if you like to call them, a typical customer that would have something like 100 access points managed on Cucumber Tony, what kind of client would that, or what kind of customer would that be?
I mean, yeah, network admins. So IT companies, resellers, VARs. So they use it, they rebrand our portal, and then it's effectively, it would be like Claus Hetting's Wi-Fi kind of thing. It would be your portal and your service, and then they then give it on to their customers. So, all
right, I understand. Okay, good, very good. I'm sorry, it was me that was slow in understanding your answer the first time.
I said I wasn't a salesman.
No, that's okay. So tell us, what's the biggest challenge, or what has been or is still the biggest challenge in getting your Cucumber Tony service out there?
Biggest challenge technically, or?
Could be either.
I mean, I would say the biggest challenge is probably, so we're a small team, there's 4 of us, 2 write the code and 2 do the kind of sales and backup. it's our plan at the moment to kind of bootstrap this the way through. So obviously we've got to run a business while building this platform, but the hardest thing is coping with the sheer volume of data. So every client that's attached to any of these boxes is sending a heartbeat back every 30 seconds to our platform. And it's an incessant amount of data that we have to process. So I think we're doing upwards of 500 million data points a month. And the expectation is when you walk in, you turn it on, you want to look on your laptop or your phone and you want to see that data there. So that's probably the biggest challenge for us. But actually that's probably the most exciting part of it. So we're just releasing a new portal and it literally is like as live as we can possibly make it. So if in terms of troubleshooting, it's a fantastic tool.
So let's talk a little bit, Simon, about being a startup, because you guys are certainly a startup and an exciting startup. And I came to visit you in London. I love the atmosphere, by the way. Yeah, there's employees there. Yeah. So, and it's always fun to be part of a startup organization. I'm a startup myself. So let's talk a little bit about that. So can you share with us your best and perhaps also your worst experience as a Wi-Fi startup?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's the same as there's many of them. But it comes back to the data. And I actually, to play with fire a little bit, our customer is the biggest and the worst and the best part of this. The demands that the end user has on something we offer the service as a free thing, and the demands they put on us is very challenging. And to keep the platform running all the time, we all work incessantly. So I often work until 4 a.m. And like, I hope everyone realizes that we genuinely care about it. But then obviously you get this message from someone saying, oh, I can't do this. But then on the flip side of things, it's like without those customer demands and without those people moaning at us and asking us to do stuff, we couldn't have built the product that we've built at the moment. So it's kind of, you have to have some thick skin and you have to deal with that. And then you have to deal with kind of the competition coming to you. Because I mean, it's not easy to build this product, but it is relatively simple for people to try and replicate it. So it's, I guess, a small startup, it's the continuous attack, but.
Right. So you're very close to the client, essentially, right? You typically, I think a lot of startups are, and yeah. I think that's a good thing, I guess. Do you have any days where you go home and say, yes, we nailed it today, or how does that look?
I mean, no, I've never said that, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty satisfying when you have someone pretty annoyed about something. And as a startup, what we do is we talk to every one of them. So everyone that comes online, we have like live chat and live support. We talk to them and listen to them. And when they're angry and want to take it out, it's pretty satisfying when they're not, when you turn them around and they suddenly, there's this moment for them and they're like, I get it. And that's pretty good. And then equally, everyone like that, if we fix one thing for one person that complains, then 100 other people are happier. So yeah, I guess, Klaus, I should really say that every day I go home and say, yes, that was it.
You should, but let's be honest, not every day is like that for me either, you know. Most days no. I'm happy to say yes, but it's like that, but not all.
Yes, it is.
All right, so there you go. It's the life of the startup, man. This is what it's like. So anyway, I wanted to ask you also, this is my signature question, and I ask this of a lot of people because I want them to, shall we say, dream a little bit, maybe, or voice, give a voice to their dreams. So what would you like to see in the Wi-Fi world, that is, what would you like to see happen if you could have anything you want?
Well, I mean, anything that I want within reason. Okay, within the scope of Wi-Fi. Yes. So two things, I guess. First of all, I mean, so going back to the data that we're processing, we process a lot of data. I'd really like, this is one thing that we're aiming for at the moment, to actually use that data to make our Wi-Fi networks better. I feel they're kind of a little bit stagnant at the moment. There's a lot of pressure put on Wi-Fi to make it faster, bigger, better, stronger. But there's very few companies actually trying to change the way that we're actually using it. And so I want to see some more companies like us doing some interesting things. There's some cool startups on Kickstarter at the moment, but effectively all they're doing is doing some voice recognition and a bit of AI to reboot your box. As far as I'm concerned, that's a little bit trivial. What people should be aiming at doing is using this mass of data and doing something cool with it. So what that may be, I don't know. And then the other side of things, I would definitely like to see this kind of vendor neutral platform emerge, not SDN or anything like that. But I feel like the vendors from Aruba to Extreme have spent a lot of time fighting with each other over this kind of an estate. And now they've all got their kind of feature sets. Everyone knows what they're good for. And I feel that people buying them should be allowed to choose an Aruba box to put in this location and an Extreme box to put in that location, but have one dashboard to rule them all and not be tied into this kind of, oh, my license fee's done and that kind of stuff. So a much fairer kind of ecosystem.
That's a fantastically good point. I've actually not heard that from anybody else, but it is certainly well taken, and I've made a note of it here, and I will ask some other people about that as well because I think it's very good. And I had a question on my mind and now I forgot because you got me sidetracked with that really good comment. Let's talk about World Wi-Fi Day. How are you going to be celebrating that?
Well, we've got 5 cucumber costumes custom printed with Wi-Fi access points in the top, and we'll be walking around London with cucumber gin and tonics for the day. I think you should do
that. I really think you should do that. I don't think we'll do anything as extravagant as here because, this is such a small town. I don't think anybody would notice anyway.
You've taken our weather, so I mean.
Yeah, exactly. No, so the last thing I wanted to say is to make sure our viewers know where to go to check out all the details on Cucumber Tony. It's cucumbertony.io, is it? Is that right?
Cucumberwifi.io.
Oh, sorry. Cucumberwifi.io is the URL, and it's totally impressive what you've done in terms of the feature set. There's a ton of stuff here. And now I remember what I wanted to ask you. So, but anyway, viewers, make sure that you go and check that out because it's good. I wanted to ask you about statistics versus analytics because I remember we talked about that. And you had a good point about that. And I totally agree with you. Maybe you would like to repeat the point because it's a good one.
You're putting me in a hot place at the moment, Claus.
Am I? Well, please do it anyway. I'll take responsibility or share it.
Yeah, can you mute some of this out? Yeah, I guess a lot of the time customers come to us and say, "Oh, can you do these analytics?" And I've always had a little challenge with the fact that there are many companies offering analytics-based services, whereas actually all they're doing is kind of regurgitating statistics for the end user. Which I don't really feel gets anyone anywhere. It just shows stuff that they already know.
Yeah.
So I think moving forward, analytics, as far as I'm concerned, is something that actually takes the data, processes it, uses some intelligence to turn it into something useful, and then provides it in a format back to the user that they can understand. And not only can they understand it, they can do something with it and make their businesses better. Otherwise, literally, we might as well just stare at spreadsheets.
Yeah, and I do agree with you on that. There's a lot of statistics happening, and people do tend to call it analytics. And I think it's a very valid point, and that's why I wanted you to comment on it, because you also talked about the data science side of things, that being an opportunity and a challenge as well. And I think all of these are good points, to further this industry. So I do appreciate it, and I also said it now, so we do share responsibility for saying that. Okay.
Thanks.
So, Simon, is there anything you'd like to share with the world? The entire Wi-Fi world, of course, is watching you here, so this is your opportunity. Other than all your friends are dead, clearly.
Yeah. No, I would actually just like to say thanks to all the people. There are thousands of people using it, but there is a core group of people out there, and you know who you are, that have helped us build the product. And thank you very much for helping us, all of you. So come and join in, be part of the team.
Yeah, it's great to have you on the show. I really appreciate it. Always fun to chat with you. Super insightful. And I'm also very much hoping that you'll come and join us at our event in London and share some more of your insights.
In true startup fashion, we will probably tell you about 3 days before.
Okay. All right, very good, Simon. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks.
All right, thanks. All right, everybody, that's it for this week's show with Simon Morley from Cucumber Tony. Next week, another one of my favorite personalities in Wi-Fi is coming on the show, and that's Perry Carell, Chief Wi-Fi Evangelist at Xeris. So I'll be interviewing him. And of course, don't forget to go to wifinow.international to register for a London conference where you will get to meet Simon Morley, although he has not confirmed it, of course, but he will be there. And many other great people in Wi-Fi. See you all next week.
Wi-Fi Now is a production of RCR TV News. To suggest a show topic or to learn more about Wi-Fi Now events, you can reach Claus Hetting at klaus@hettingconsulting.com. To find out more about Wi-Fi Now and all things wireless, visit rcrwireless.com.